To our first qualifier decider sets here on the Elite Classic. We've got Kiljardi from Finland up against MSN, our Danish Chad here as well. So, you know, two bros from the north up against each other to fight it out for who is going to be our first player to qualify for the Elite Classic 4.
Well, MSN, the young lad that's surging in the ranks and taking the pro play scene by storm. Over here, gonna be playing Iobit against the Byzantine on King of the Hill. So there is gonna be most likely some type of a fast cast stage and Byzantine 5 cistern play into the later cast stage. Maybe maybe there's gonna be some raiding with Chem Lancers, but we just must wait and see. This is the match that's gonna conclude who will be qualified for the Elite Classic. So, or match. This is the series that's gonna conclude it. So our players are gonna be trying to do their best, definitely. And we are gonna be starting on King of the Hill, gentlemen.
King of the Hill, indeed, and the Byzantines here up against the Iobits. I mean, Byzantines, they should be faring relatively well here, I want to say, just because of all of the different units that they have access to. We could be seeing Javelin Throwers, which are going to be doing great up against the Desert Raiders, and also do give you the ability to make Camel Riders in the Castle Age, which also just works wonders when you're up against camels from your opponent as well. So having a lot of really good options to choose from here when you're playing as the Byzantines should be looking relatively well for them. Also just one of those civs that really do well in an extended game on a single TC with all of the cistern economy scaling in their favor. Some interesting head-to-heads here, as we do see the win rates between the two players. When it comes to Sirius, overall, 57.1. That's the Photoshop picture of Kiljardi, right? Like, I do not believe... Wait, that's the actual... Okay. Wait, really? Confirm it for me, please. Okay, it is. Kiljardi himself actually did upload, or rather, he did give EGC like a Photoshop picture of him where he does look a lot older than he actually is. So he doesn't actually look that old, but yeah, he is considered the grandpa of Age of Empires 4. Currently, when it comes to the game count, a 50% win rate between him and MSN, but he does still have a slight serious lead here. But most notably, all the last tournaments, the Homestead qualifiers, as well as the the War Chiefs Club, week 167, man, they've been going for a long time. MSN has been able to win the last two sets there.
Well, we will see how the two gentlemen are gonna face off against each other. But in the meantime, the more series that we have still going on are gonna be Voldy against Sez. They are currently in the third game of their series, and Demu is waiting for the winner of that one. Numura and Corvinus is gonna be another decider between who will be qualified for the main event, and Louis is gonna be facing off against Jif yet again on who will be qualified. Currently, we are gonna be casting Kiljardi against MSN, and we are hoping for as many Feudal Age all-ins from MSN as we can get.
As many Feudal Age all-ins, indeed. I mean, MSN, both him and Kiljardi, they do like bang their heads against the wall until it breaks. And, you know, MSN and I believe it was Dragovan, they've been, like, going for these sneaky strategies where they, like, mass up a ton of horsemen, hide them inside of their TC for, like, 5 minutes or so, and then suddenly reveal that they actually got, like, a big mass of horsemen to try and take an unfavorable engagement. And, yeah, now jumping on into our first game of this set. We've got Kiljardi and the color orange playing as the Byzantines here on King of the Hill. His opponent, none other than VS MSN, playing as the Iobits in the color blue. And King of the Hill, I gotta tell you, Mali, that is one of my favorite maps in the game. It is just all or nothing. Everything cards on the table. You show your opponent everything that you've got. Your opponent shows you everything that he has, and then you just duke it out in the middle for the sacred side.
Well, definitely, and MSN will be having that little bit of an early lead with the Iobit, the castle age, most likely, thanks to the aging up in House of Wisdom, and thanks to the just getting so much value out of your age up instantly. On the other hand, Kiljardi is already showing us that he wants to go for Mass Cistern, already leaving 2 villagers out on a stone, so this is most likely going to be 5 Cistern play as quickly as it is possible, and then going into the site some type of a castle age. The question is going to be standing if MSN still wants to go for the dervishes in the feudal age, or if it's going to be something else. Most likely it's going to be dervishes in to the feudal, but you can still try to go reinforcements just to be super annoying to Mr. Kiljardi, and just to make him commit to at least some type of a production building. On another hand, MSN is gonna be, in my opinion, chilling inside of his base until the cast.
Yeah, 2 villagers on stone at the moment, so Kiljardi not going overly greedy here. Typically overly greedy on the stone would be 3 villagers there. And it's going to be economic win growth from MSN with the IBIT, so not going for logistics, isn't going to be getting those early dervishes in. Instead, we'll be using those 3 free villagers that spawn to get ahead a little bit in the economy early on as the game goes on. And also might have been, or might be a little bit more for play towards just feudal age aggression here as well.
This can be very interesting because with growing into the feudal age, it's giving you a lot of options. You can either go for the super fast age up to the castle age, or you can go for, as Krakety said, some type of feudal. Question is, if some type of a feudal is a good play to do on King of the Hill. King of the Hill, very closed map. It's not that hard to wall. On another hand, against Byzantine or civilization that is usually aging up that little bit later because they love to go for the early cisterns, and at the same time is a little bit more vulnerable thanks to the just giant economic investment that they need to do in order to get it up and running. You maybe can try to do something.
Grand Refinery now coming in for Kiljardi. Yeah, I'm wondering just how exactly this is going to be getting played out, because, like, MSN, if he just doesn't go at all for Desert Raiders, but instead just goes Horsemen and Mass Archers, could be that if Kiljardi does actually go for Javelin Throwers, he might not be faring as well as if he had just gone for the Longbowmen instead. Definitely some things to keep in mind here as the game's going to be progressing. But will most likely... I mean, I'm just going to be assuming that it's going to be Javelin Throwers. We're seeing the Cistern level 3 now coming in as well for Kiljardi, so also already going to be having a very solid economy here going for him early on in the game. Something to keep in mind as well, that this is EGC, King of the Hill. So the areas that are open on the map, on these cliffs, they are a lot more, I want to say, predictable and a lot more open. There's a lot more space between these cliffs. And we do see the aggression coming in from MSN. We do see the archery range, we do see the stables, so looks like so far it's playing out just about as expected from him, going for a very aggressive playstyle here up against the Byzantines. A second mill, yeah.
Second mill is interesting. I'm not really sure what is it for.
Probably Golden Age and efficiency. I'm hearing productions say pro scouts, but you're not pro scouting with 2 villagers on gold.
So we will see. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe I think he would benefit way more from just getting a house in the back if we want to go for early buff for all of the villagers in terms of the buildings, but MSN is still going for our feudal over here. There we can see 3 horsemen already gonna be out very soon, and 2 archers. So this is exactly as Krakety pointed out. This is gonna be archer horsemen over here. On the other hand, Kiljardi doesn't really look like he's making a lot of stuff. Finally, we see some horsemen coming out, but who do you think has better feudal age, Mr. Krakety? Is it gonna be Iobits with some horseman archer, maybe mixing in a Desert Raider here and there for the debuff on enemy cavalry, or is it gonna be Byzantine with the units from the olive oil?
The early timing, I would say Ayubits has the lead just because they get some pretty explosive eco buffs early on. So with the Golden Age Tier 1, you already have 10% faster gather speed. And on top of that, the berries give you a lot of food very early on in the game. You can tell right now the food income for MSN, it's very solid. It's like 20% higher than what Kiljardi has. And it allows him to already be at 4 horsemen, 4 archers, while Kiljardi is only just now getting his 4th horseman out onto the map. Desert Raider is also coming in behind this. So it's just a very aggressive play here at the moment from MSN. We do now see a mercenary school coming in, or mercenary house for Kiljardi. So we'll soon be able to tell just exactly what mercenary path he's going to be going for. And yeah, MSN behind this. He's just locking down the map and taking down Kiljardi's scout. Means that he's going to be taking away Kiljardi's vision for the time being. So he's not going to be able to tell exactly how many units MSN is going for. But he does actually find the units inside of MSN space there on the gold vein. So now he's going to be having a pretty clear idea of what exactly MSN is going for.
MSN went for that one Desert Raider, and it's slowly but surely adding the second one, just to get the debuff on all of the horsemen from the Byzantine player over here. At the same time, adding some spears is very interesting to me. Sure, they are gonna be very good against the horsemen, but as soon as Kiljardi will potentially add some longbows, longbows will be able to deal with basically half of your composition over here. They are very good in dealing with archers, extremely good in dealing with Desert Raiders, and of course they obliterate the spearmen. So spearman transition from MSN is definitely interesting to me over here.
Yeah, now Limitani and Lombos coming on up. So I like the idea here from Kiljardi's going for the Lombos rather than the Javelin throws. He realized that with MSN's current army composition, the Lombos are going to serve him better than the Javelin throws, especially since Lombos just have a lot more attack speed than the Javelin throws. You're going to be able to, if you're one-shotting either way, it's better to one-shot quicker with the better attack speed of the archers there.
One thing that's not gonna be playing into the Kiljardi's card is a map spawn on King of the Hill. He has 2 more berries on the sides of the maps, but it's gonna be a little bit harder to secure. They cannot really spawn in the back of your base. Main berry patch spawned in the back of his base, so that's at least good. And the farm transition is gonna be in the back also, right next to the Grand Winery. On the other hand, MSN currently having the map control and leading in the military count by 10 is going to be dictating the tempo of the game for now, but the Kiljardi is definitely gonna be more and gonna be getting bigger and bigger advantage as more longbows are gonna be coming out. 8 are already out. We will see even the 3rd batch of longbows coming out from the additional berry patch that Kiljardi has under the Grand Winery. Though it's gonna be interesting if he can secure more olive oil.
Yeah, definitely the olive oil is going to be the question here. MSN, he already has some units on the next berry patch though. Kiljardi also trying to get some walls off on the other side. But he needs to get control over that next batch of berries. And yeah, MSN, he's pulling everything over there right now. He knows that that is exactly where Kiljardi wants to go. He's even luring him into a false sense of security, pulling the army back just enough for Kiljardi to commit to an outpost. The army is there, but yeah, MSN just has way more units here than Kiljardi. So if the fight actually gets taken, it's going to be a disaster for him. But the outpost does get finished up. Villagers should be jumping inside. They do so. And it's immediately getting torched down.
You don't have that many limited A over here, so that's not that's not the best for the Kiljardi, but at the same time, Outpost is going to be providing us a lot of damage. Limited are going to be coming in. There is still 1 Desert Raider alive, so all of the horsemen from the Kiljardi are going to be getting debuffed, and this is probably not the best fight he could take. Tidal Desert Raider is going to be dying, and we are pulling the horsemen to kill every single one of the longbows. We are surrounding the longbowmen, and when these longbows are going to be dying, they are not going to be getting replenished that easily, because we are losing the berry patch in the front. At the same time, MSN is winning the fight against few horsemen and few limited with his archers. And currently, it's looking not nicely for the kiljardi. Kiljardi also most likely going to be sacrificing 5 villagers over here. But
MSN,
MSN
the
needs to...
horseman, focusing the wrong.
Okay,
there we
finally,
go.
Finally
Refocusing now.
they are forcing the,
Do we
the
have...
outpost.
I think we have the defense on the outpost up from the cistern at the moment. It's not taking that much damage, and indeed, it has been switched over to Presidium. So not taking as much damage as he could have potentially done, but yeah, 5 villagers down. That is some heavy hits there for kiljardi. And behind this, the economy, like the food income, has been pretty much completely idled out. Since he didn't have access to the berries, he doesn't have any sheep remaining. He did have to move out all the way now to the top side for the deer in the next berry patch. But there's no cistern there as well, so yeah, food gathering is not going to be the fastest there.
Kiljardi is finding himself in a lot of trouble at the moment. Currently, zero olive oil income. Slowly but surely going to be getting it up thanks to the villagers on the berry patch on the side. But as Crackety mentioned, there is no cistern over here, and that's gonna mean that all of our eco buffs that we were building in the Dark Age, all of our investment is practically out the window. Also, MSN will be getting inside over here, and currently kiljardi does not have enough army to fight MSN over here. MSN leading in the military count that's 4 times larger than the kiljardi's one.
Yeah, this field's doomed. Kiljardi, he's gonna have to evacuate all of his villagers across now. Across the wall. But what does he even do with them over there? There's a boar. He could gather from the boar, but that's not something that you really want to be doing. I mean, he might just have to put up like 5 outposts here just to keep the villagers safe. Instead, he's running them over now.
I don't think he has time. He's gonna be running back home. And MSN is gonna see it because he's sending army from the other side. And MSN is seeing it at this time, and horsemen, just with a superior movement speed, are gonna be running and trying to pick off as many of them as it is possible. Some body blocks with the MSN, with the horsemen in front, trying to do, or just running over there. This is catastrophic.
This is over.
This is like
there's no way back.
25 villagers that is just dying over here. MSN showing us is a masterpiece of the Iobid over here, and currently leading by 20 villagers. MSN is going to be taking the lead in the series. And this is the feudal age all-in that we were talking about before the game started. MSN is known for them, and he showed us the first one.
Yeah, I mean, this is, MSN with the Iobids. It is like one of his favorite civilizations in the game, and he definitely did show it off here to great effect. And yeah, GG coming on in. Game number 1 going over to MSN. Military value lead, you could kind of tell that he's leading there just by looking at it. And yeah, getting some great villager pickoffs there early on as well. The 3 villager start there with the economic win growth. Just working out so nicely for him. And now we're going to be moving over to a hybrid map next. It's going to be Knights Templar up against the Order of the Dragon on 4 lakes here next. I gotta say, I like this matchup for the Knights Templar. Just a civilization that's able to mass up a ton of units. Typically tends to do well up against the Order of the Dragon, because they've got fewer units, of course. Now the units are stronger, but still at the end of the day, just many units kind of beat few strong units. So yeah, looking forward to this.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rougher for MSN. Katie being definitely one of the best civilizations that you can pick on the 4 lakes. Even after the change, when their docks cost way more, it doesn't matter that much for them. It was a big nerf, but at the same time, their wood economy is still just superior to any other. So in my opinion, we are going to be seeing a lot of fishing ships or a lot of dock play early for kiljardi. And the question is, what is MSN going to show us again? Because we just saw feudal age all-in over here, and he's known for them. So is this gonna be some type of a no-dog dark age into the into the adding fast spearmen, or in the dark age, or adding some type of a fast horseman to torch down enemy dog? I can definitely see Msn doing something like that.
Would be kind of weird. I mean, could see him doing it, but honestly, it would be very strange. I don't think it's gonna be that way. Like Four Lakes, these kind of hybrid maps, they have a way about it when it comes to punishing unorthodox play, right? Like when you go out of the box, if it doesn't work immediately, like your opponent has a great hybrid economy working for them, and with that in mind, like these kind of like dock burning plays or just mass focus on land type plays, they tend to not work out that well. So I think this most likely should be just a standard play, both players going for docks. I could see him trying to dock his opponent's pond relatively early on, but probably not before Feudal Age.
Well, we will definitely see. Msn player that we cannot expect conventional plays normally. So there is maybe going to be something that that he cooked up. On another hand, what are the civilizations that we still have left for this best of 5? There is still Tunglang, JD, and even the Sengoku for the MSN, and Kiljardi having French ABA, Jushi, Japan, and the Demon Civ itself. So which draft do you personally like more, Mr. Grakity?
When it comes to like civilizations here, the draft, I prefer Kiljardi's draft, honestly, looking at it. I like Shushi more. I like Knights Templar. Like these are just my kind of picks. When it comes to like the strength of the civilizations, I would prefer MSN's draft, like having China, Golden Horde, Sengoku, very, very strong civilizations. When it comes to comfort picks, I kind of prefer Kiljardi. I like Shushi just more. Japan, Knights Templar, and the French. I would personally enjoy playing with Kiljardi's draft a little bit more than with MSN's one, but MSN's draft, I would say, has objectively stronger civilizations.
Well, we will see how he will play them. Still, Golden Horde is still in his disposal, and Sengoku, one of the civilizations that was known to be unbeatable a few patches ago, but got hit pretty hard with the nerfs. In my opinion, those are the two strongest that he has. Also, there is a China. China is currently, and even back in the day, still considered to be one of the best civilizations overall, thanks to their massive economy buffs. We will see. It all depends on the counter picks. It all depends on the drafts on every single one of the maps. But currently, we are slowly but surely going to be heading into the Four Lakes, and Templar against the OTD are going to be the civilizations that we will see.
Yeah, Knights Templar versus the Order of the Dragon. Honestly, I mentioned earlier, I do prefer the Knights Templar here. We've seen it from Anaton as well, like a very unorthodox, or not unorthodox build, but going for the Janitors in Castle Age. And they tend to do quite well against a civilization like the Order of the Dragon, because, as we mentioned earlier, Order of the Dragon, they've got fewer units overall. So being able to like counter out those ranged units with mounted javelin throwers tends to work out very, very well for them.
Well, we are getting into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Kiljardi is going to be playing as a Knights Templar in the color of orange, and MSN is going to be playing as Order of the Dragon in the color of green, or dark green, the new one. The MSN is going to be opening standardly over here. It looks like fast dock, and Kiljardi also, it looks like he's going to be going for fast dock a little bit later, because his docks cost way more, but still should be completely fine thanks to the superior wood economy that KT is having.
Yeah, we'll see. Both players looking to be going for early docks here. Samson already has put up the dock, but Kiljardi unfortunately doesn't get access to docks. He has to build harbors, which cost a little bit extra. So he's going to have to wait a little bit with that initial dock placement, but will get it going soon either way. Just needs to wait for a little bit of wood income to come on in. 250 wood, that's going to be the price for the harbor.
It's still a little bit tricky
And-
to play KT on these hybrid maps because of the dock costing more. It's just back in a day when they had when they had a normal dock, it was basically the dream thief on the hybrid or on the water maps.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it is a little bit trickier because you are spending 100 more wood. So even though you are not making a real lumber camp, your docks are just simply said gonna cost more, and you are delaying your fishing ships. On the other hand, MSN with a pretty standard play over here, and gonna be going for probably as fast of the age up as it is possible with OTD. Kiljardi doing the same. Kiljardi should be aging up a tiny bit faster, thanks to the age up inside of the town center. But he will be losing villagers for it.
Yeah. Alright, both players also still utilizing the scouts to pick off any kind of remaining sheep there out on the map. Sheep count overall pretty even between the two. MSN already has 2 fishing ships out. Kiljardi yet to get his first fishing ship out. Just the power of the later dock there. But yeah, gets the first fishing ship out now as well. But Kiljardi, we can already tell, like, he's pumping ahead when it comes to wood income here with the Knights Templar or food overall. Also just being able to not just gather wood from the trees, but also generate food as well. It's that nice little bit of extra efficiency there in the wood line that just helps the Knights Templar out a lot. Now moving villagers over to gold as well.
In terms of the sheep, both players are super equal, 16 to 16. It cannot get better than this. We are slowly but surely gonna be seeing Kiljardi going on gold, MSN already being on gold, and age ups should be following not that far away from now. What do you think is the proper age up for Kiljardi? Are we gonna see surgeons over here just because they are very good at sniping units thanks to throwing axes, or is this gonna be just cheaper? This is just gonna be discount for the units. Hospitaller?
It should be either Hospitaller or the French Kingdom for the Chevalier. Chevalier make a lot of sense just because it gives you like an early like armored-ish unit to try and go for raids. But realistically, when you're up against the Order of the Dragon, because they have the strongest spearmen in the game, you don't necessarily want to go for the chefs. So instead could also be seeing Hospitaller just to have the little bit of bonus HP on your villagers, as well as the extra movement speed. Be a little bit more efficient there overall. But knowing that it's Kiljardi, yeah, it's going to be the Kingdom of France just because, you know, Kiljardi, he does love his aggression play. So getting units out a little bit quicker with a little bit of a discount, at least when it comes to gold, that is definitely going to be more fitting his playstyle. That's what we'll be seeing here.
Kiljardi is still very, very heavy on wood, so I'm wondering if this is going to be like a dock placement on the second pond, or even a more aggressive one. Having 14 KT villagers on wood is going to mean giant wood income. On the other hand, MSN, even though we have 10 villagers on wood, it doesn't really look like we are going to be placing some aggressive dock on the Kiljardi side of the map, and main work is going to be played over here. That's the interesting part.
Yeah,
Maybe some early archers or some type of a feudal age play still?
Maybe. I mean, Minework just in general is a pretty strong landmark. And on maps like Four Lakes, where the initial woodlines, they aren't really that large, so the Archon Chapel isn't going to last you a long time, and farms aren't going to be made for a long time anyways. The Minework just gives you more immediate value when you need it, I want to say. But now Stable already coming up. Kiljardi already has the first level of the pilgrimage research, so we'll start sending out those pilgrims towards the sacred sites for some additional gold.
Waiting for the second gold on the second pawn at the same time, so this is going to mean that food income is slowly but surely going to be skyrocketing. MSN on the other hand, the men-at-arms or spearmen are going to be his pick over here.
Should be spears.
Most likely a few spears.
No
men-at-arms, okay, that's interesting one. They got a buff recently and they are 20 foot cheaper. So I can see it working, but it's gonna be a little bit harder against the chandeliers or against the knights from the KT over here. Men at
They should be
arms
doing
really.
fine. Like the
Okay.
the men at arms, the gilded men at arms, they actually beat knights in a one-on-one, so they shouldn't have too many issues with the chevaliers. Like the gilded men at arms, you definitely shouldn't underestimate them. They are freaking tanks. And now with the unique
They are
upgrade from the
amazing,
minework as
yes.
well, like taking less damage when they're low HP, I could see this like just working out with just mass men at arms. You mentioned it, like they've been buffed. Like the food cost reduction, that's actually pretty dramatic. Like 20 less food that you have to pay for every single one of them. That's quite a lot.
We are gonna be diving the gold over here, and MSN does not see it because he was looking at the men at arms over here. But no harm is gonna be done to these villagers. They pulled out in time, and third man at arm is already out. What is interesting to me is that we are doing +1 range damage for MSN, but not having any archers out yet. If we are going for men at arms like we are right now, I would love to see +1 damage for them or even +1 ranged armor. But
They're coming in
finally,
now.
one gilded archer is gonna be in the queue, and they are gonna be and they are gonna be coming to the battlefield. And triple composition is the play for him. While we are diving the wood line for kiljardi, and we are just gonna be doing a little bit of damage to the villagers. Nothing else is gonna be done. Just a bit of idle time.
Yeah. A little bit of idle time, at least for the time being, behind this kiljardi. He's messing up a pretty big amount of these chevaliers here behind this. Already 6 up on the field. MSN now also starting to add in some gilded horsemen as well behind this. So a 1-1-1 army composition here for MSN. Gilded horsemen are quite strong. Even up against the chevalier, they put up quite nice of a fight. And they're actually able
this
to
is
trap
nice
the
round.
men at arms there. Yeah, able
Love
to take
it.
one down.
Very nice round. And they are going to be surviving even with a super low HP. Sure, we don't have any ability in the Feud Ledge to heal them currently. We did not went for Hospitalier Age Up. So no Feud Ledge healing, unfortunately, for the kiljardi over here. MSN still sticking to the triple composition. And that's going to be Men-at-Arm, Gilded Archer, and Gilded Horseman. Gilded Horsemen are going to be really amazing to raid with. They can do well against Chevalier, like Rackety said, but still it's gonna be rough and tough. It's still knights, and you don't have that mobile of army except of the horsemen, and currently you don't just have that many of them.
Indeed, but like the Chevalier, they don't scale that great. They got like some HP scaling mechanic on them with, depending on how many there are there, you get a little bit of additional HP on the Chevalier.
It's nice,
Ooh,
right?
first villager gonna be going down here. MSN getting a
lovely,
Vil
right?
kill in.
Like MSN needs to get to critical mass of the men-at-arms when you can just send it, and after that he does not really care what army kiljardi will have. Like Rackety said earlier, with the buffs from the main work, these men-at-arms are gonna be nearly unkillable or super hard to kill. On another hand, kiljardi will be heavy a little bit rougher with going for a mass chevalier and some archers behind it. I don't like the archers behind it. They are not countering anything over here. Like, sure, they can do well against the archers from the MSN in the Feudal Age, but as soon as the Castle Age rolls around, and we are gonna get +3 armor on them, archers from kiljardi are not gonna do anything. They are not gonna do anything to the horsemen from MSN, and they are definitely not gonna do anything to those men-at-arms that MSN has.
Yeah, I mean the Chevalier number at the moment for kiljardi, it's actually getting quite great now at this point. Taking a look at just, if we can just select one of them, like at this point the bonus health actually does start to mass up quite a bit. Plus 11 HP on them means that they can actually survive an additional hit from one of the men-at-arms here as well. Goes for the engagement, but realistically, that's not one that he wants to take. These gilded men-at-arms, they're still very much gilded.
One villager went
Gets
down,
one
so
okay.
at least something. 2 villagers went down, so at least
Yeah.
something. But still, not as much as kiljardi hoped for, I think.
Yeah. With the archers that Kiljardi has, though, he's going to have means to take down the range backline there from MSN, like with his own archers, which is going to be quite nice for him. And he's starting to move forward now with the rest of his army as well. It just makes to make sure that these Gilded Horsemen aren't going to be screwing him over too much. This is a little bit of an ambitious engagement.
Body block. This is terrible for Kiljardi. He killed like one archer in that fight and donated like 7 Chevalier over there. Definitely not the engagement that he hoped for. At the same time, we engaged in the front of the MSN's base and tried to pick off some villagers or pick off some army with our archer mass that Kiljardi is still massing. But the MSN's men-at-arms numbers are just growing, and they are definitely not going down at the moment. The longer the game goes, better it is going to be for him. And having these docks up is just allowing to make so much more of them. Look at that food income, 1100 food a minute. That's disgusting.
A lot of food at the moment. But so far the Pilgrims, they've been going to their workplace pretty much uninterrupted here so far. Almost uninterrupted, but there we go. Gets the connection in. Gets the gold in. We're already back up to 21 Chevalier at this point. That's quite a lot, but there's also just a lot of men-at-arms out on the field. It's difficult to tell who's actually ahead here when it comes to the military. Military count-wise, looks like MSN is ahead when it comes to the population space used. And these Chevalier here, they're not likely to return alive at this point. They're pretty battered. Very much hurt units at this point.
Kiljardi investing more and more into the archers. So maybe we are eventually going to get into the critical mass in which they can start to deal with the MSN's men-at-arms. It's, in my opinion, still at least 20 archers away. Just because of the damage reduction and at the same time enormous amounts of HP that the MSN's men-at-arms have. On the other hand, we are still just massing in a feudal age, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like this game will be decided in one big feudal age fight. Not a single player is even hoping to get up to the castle at this point. We are just massing, exactly as Kiljardi stocked 400 food and 300 gold. He just queued up another 5 Chevalier. So this game is going to be decided in the feudal.
Looks like it for sure. Then again, Kiljardi's got so many villagers on gold. There's so much income. I wouldn't be surprised if Kiljardi just pulls the trigger now and tries to go for a castle age up, right? Like, he's got so many Chevalier. He would be getting just a lot of value by going up to castle age if he gets the chance to upgrade them. MSN, he doesn't get that much value. Yeah, exactly. And MSN doesn't get as much value from going up to castle age. Like, Kiljardi, he's getting a lot more value from potential castle age up, and he's also just making it so that MSN, he has to react to these little raids here from the Chevaliers.
We are going up to castle, it looks like. We are going up to castle. And I'm thinking of Genoese crossbowmen.
Would make sense. No, never mind. Not Genoese crossbowmen. Kingdom of Castile, that's the one. You want the Janitors. Not the Genoese crossbowmen. Not only do you get like a nicer... Yeah, you get like a nice counter against the ranged units, but also, most importantly, you get the curl type buff around sacred sites, which can be very important when it comes to taking fights. And just being able to secure the sacred sites for your pilgrimage.
Is MSN gonna send it as quickly as he sees Kiljardi edge up to the castle edge? It looks like it. We are running with a lot of men-at-arms, but this is a lot of army from the Kiljardi over here. I'm not sure if this is if these numbers are enough for the MSN over here. We are engaging from the both sides, and we have a lot of archers behind all of this. Men-at-arms are gonna be slowly but surely gonna get dealt with all the Chevalier in the front, even without having the veterancy upgrades. We are still relatively fine on it. Veterancy upgrades are not that far away, and in 10 seconds, when Chevalier are gonna be cast late Chevalier, they are gonna be able to, in my opinion, deal very nicely with all of this. And yes, it looks like it. We got the cast age upgrades, and we are gonna be getting the engaging. Still, veterancy for the archers is not in yet, and it's gonna take us 1 minute to get. But currently, Chevalier are gonna be enough, probably.
Yeah, mass Chevaliers. There's just so many of them here. We were earlier at 30, now at 16, but there's enough archers to start one-shotting the Gilded Archers from MSN, which is really what you want to be doing now with your Knights Templar Archers. Some Templar Brothers also going to be coming on in here now as well. Only 7 men-at-arms remaining. And yeah, MSN, he's just going to be getting overrun now, it feels like, by Kiljardi and the Knights Templar. There's just no way back, no way that MSN can get his own age up now behind this. And GG's going to be coming on in. Kiljardi able to even out the set in game number 2.
G to the G, MSN did not use his timing where he had mass men-at-arms and archers were not in yet, or mass archers were not in yet, and Chevalier numbers were not sufficient enough. But Kiljardi doing an amazing job over here, just running around with the Chevalier and not letting MSN go across the map and try to raid him or do any type of damage. We did not saw any dog plays, which I was a little bit surprised about. Not Kiljardi or the MSN did not even try to go for the counter dog and then make some type of the water play. So this was literally just two people on 2 small lakes playing for the mass feudal, but one of them pulled a very nice trigger for the castle age.
Yeah. Next up, it is going to be Coastal Cliffs, where we'll be seeing Shushi's Legacy coming in from Kiljardi. MSN on the other side with the Chinese. So a Chinese mirror almost here between the two. But when it comes to Chinese mirrors between Shushi and China, honestly, before the landmark rework, I would have said that China is slightly favored. But now with the new Jiangnan Tower, I feel like Shushi is able to keep up with the military unit spam and feudal age that the Chinese can put out.
Well, China, we saw China on Coastal Cliffs play for the Pro Scout, play for the Pro Scouts a lot. But currently meta, or at least what we are seeing in the tournament currently, nobody's playing for the Pro Scouts, which is very interesting to me. Everybody is playing for some type of the feudal age play, some type of the feudal age army and securing map control. Pro Scouts are not really that visible anymore. So maybe Pro Scout meta is definitely over after a long time. We have 3 more minutes until we will get into the game. And just a reminder, one of these 2 players will qualify for the Elite Classic, and this is the series that they need to win to do so. Both MSN and both Kiljardi are going to be trying their best. MSN already showed us 2 feudal age all-ins, so we will be seeing if we are going to see the 3rd one on his China.
Yeah, Chinese mirror here. China versus the Shushi. We haven't seen any Jin play here so far today in this tournament, though I did hear from production that it has been picked in some other sets. Would have been interesting to see like another type of Chinese mirror there as well. It's kind of interesting. We can have like a 3-way Chinese mirror at this point with Shushi, China, and then Jin Dynasty there as well. Coastal Cliffs going to be the name of the game though, and with these 2 civilizations, I do imagine that we'll most likely be seeing like a pro scout off between the 2. Like both players can go for pro scouts here, securing the deer on the map. Wouldn't be surprised if that was gonna be the case here between the 2 players.
We will see. We will see. We saw Jushi today played in a feudal age, so most likely it's gonna be played in a feudal age yet again. MSN loves his feudal age plays, so we are gonna see how he's gonna fare up in this fight. It's gonna take us a little bit to see what the players have in store for us. But Coastal Cliffs map that is very small. You can get a lot of value with the cavalry, but infantry is also an option because of just the size of it. Two deer packs are gonna be on the sides or right next to the bases of our players. They are usually not too far away. That means pro scouts can be played. We did not saw it today, so I'm not expecting pro scouts to be played in this matchup also. But we'll see.
Yeah. Everything's still on the table here. 1-1 now in the set. Players are evened up. Getting a little bit of confetti here as well. We're just waiting for the match now to begin. There's not really a whole lot to go over before the game really starts. To be fair, like some things to keep in mind here, of course, is that there's no Song Dynasty needed for Zhuge on the side of Shushi's legacy. There's cheaper Imperial officials for Chinese, so they get a little bit of an eco advantage there. And there's something to keep in mind as well as, yeah, China does need Song, but they get archers, and there's no archers at all for Shushi.
We are slowly but surely going to be heading into the third game of this series. Ladies and gentlemen, which one of the players is going to be on the match point after this one? It's either going to be Msn in the color of blue playing as a China, or is it going to be Kiljardi in the color of orange playing as Zhushi Legacy?
And here we go, village coming up early from Kiljardi. And has the villagers already there on the mill, being gathering with the supervision as well from the Imperial official. And for MSN, most likely, yeah, gold in the back. It's just going to be the no IO opening here.
That's lovely to see. MSN having gold completely in the back. Also relatively easily wallable from one side if he wants to. Having the big tree line right next to it. Kiljardi, on the other hand, has a deer pack relatively in the back if he decides to play for it. Question is if he will be going for a pro scouts or if he will not. MSN on the other hand, usually a feudal age all-in player. We will see what he's gonna do. We saw some fast castles back in the day from him. Even on China or Iobits, when he played fast castle into Mass Knight, so that is definitely a possibility. And especially for China, China has relatively good fast castle age timing, especially if the castle age timing is not going to be disrupted by the Zhushi legacy with some type of the feudal age play.
Yeah. When it comes to feudal age play, Kiljardi sending 3 villagers out to gold kind of tells the story that he wants to be going for the pro scout play. MSN at the moment, only 2 villagers out on gold. I'm wondering if he's going to be sending more out to gold soon-ish here. That would kind of signify him also trying to go for pro scouts play. But age up should be coming in now for MSN. I would expect the Imperial Academy, yeah, over here in order to be able to buff up both the gold, the mill, as well as the wood line for the extra tax gather speed. Now the Shangnan Tower coming in. Yep.
In terms of the sheep count, it's very similar, 17 to 15, so very balanced. Shangnan Tower is going to be placed relatively in front of our base, but we do not care that much about the placement of it. On the other hand, Imperial Academy placed in the back, exactly as Krakity said, above the gold and above the mill at the same time. Kiljardi is just chilling MSN at the same time. Like we need to wait till the feudal age until we can say anything about the situation. Both players playing completely standard over here. Nothing special. MSN has the 3 more sheep than Kiljardi, 4 more sheep than Kiljardi, but it's not that big of a deal. Because of the supervision of the mill, that's gonna mean 20% more food is under each of the mills. Food switch into the farms is gonna be delayed for both of the players, next dial.
Yeah, especially if we get the eventual Pro Scout, but seeing how MSN isn't having, like, he doesn't have any villagers on gold at all at the moment, kind of tells me that he's not going to be going for Pro Scouts at all. That's going to be interesting to see. I wonder what he might be going for instead. I still think Kiljardi's going for Pro Scouting. Still 3 villagers on gold behind all of this. Has the 2 Imperial officials out. So we'll be able to be gathering taxes with both of them there as well. MSN has a lot of villagers on wood, so we'll be seeing some production buildings coming in from him next. I wouldn't have been surprised if MSN had just gone for a Barbican and something like a boar instead of Pro Scout, and then just sent villagers onto DR afterwards. But no, he's just completely forgoing the Pro Scout play. Oh yeah, he's going for Wheelbarrow instead, so both players just going for just no Pro Scout at all. Interesting, yeah.
No Pro Scouts at all, and Kiljardi opening with a Spearman, MSN opening with his classical Horseman over here, just raid. Most likely this is gonna be triple composition for both of them. That's what China and Jushi wants to do in the feudal age, if they are going for the feudal age play. But we must wait and see. MSN has archers and Kiljardi has Jukonu. So Kiljardi has slightly better units if MSN does not go for a song. That can weigh a little bit. The only difference is that the Jukonu costs gold, and MSN can try to deny gold from the Kiljardi, and we can have this this big just back and forward with them. Also archers with a little bit more range, but I don't think it matters that much. Palace guards are going to be played for Kiljardi. That's interesting. Palace guard can definitely work.
Yeah, Palace Guards makes a lot of sense when you're up against just mixed army units here from China. Because you can use them just about against anything. When it's still horsemen and archers, in theory, you would be fine with just going only horsemen on your side. But for the eventual spearman switch, the Palace Guards do perform better. They do well against the horsemen and the spearmen. They do fine against the archers. They don't do any bonus damage against them. But if you add in Jugunu as well, then you'll be in a decent enough spot, since your Jugunu are going to be able to deal with the archers with relative ease.
Palace Guard Jukonu is definitely very interesting composition. Super tank him because there is nothing on the MSN side that can very effectively deal with the mass Palace Guard play. Archers are not really that good against them. Jukonu also is not that good, and I don't think we will see Jukonu from MSN just because of the massive upfront cost in terms of the Song Dynasty. And on the other hand, if we are gonna see mass horsemen, that's something that MSN usually goes for. Palace Guards can deal with them relatively occasionally. So mass Palace Guards could definitely work, in my opinion.
Yeah. Up to 12 archers now already at this point. So MSN, he's really great when it comes to just getting these timings in to like mass up a lot of units here early on in the game. Makes it quite difficult at the moment for Kiljardi to face off against that. Jugunu now moving forward. It still takes a while for the infantry from MSN to arrive in Kiljardi space, so for the time being, the Jugunu are going to be able to take some decent enough engagements here. But now remaining reinforcements are coming in. Kiljardi's going to have to be careful.
Micro from MSN. Very nice micro saving that 1 HP archer over here. And we are going to be seeing outpost on the gold. We really want to secure the gold for Kiljardi. Otherwise, no Palace Guards and no Jukonu can be produced. This is where MSN needs to strike and try to do some damage. But currently it looks like that outpost will be going up, and MSN cannot do a lot of things about it. Remember, Jukonu can deal really, really well against the archers, just because archers have 0 ranged armor, and Jukonu has a burst damage. So this is gonna be a very nice engagement for Kiljardi, even though he does not have that many units out on the field yet.
Yeah. But now MSN, he's hanging around the wood line from Kiljardi. That's going to make it very, very tough for Kiljardi now to gather any wood realistically. He still has some left in the bank, but yeah, difficult spot here for him. At the moment, Kiljardi could just be going mainly for like just Jugunu and be fine against the army from MSN.
archers are making it really difficult to gather the wood over here. We are getting +1 ranged armor. That's very, very important if we are playing into the Jukonu. Way more important than +1 damage for our own archers. Playing for some horsemen at the same time. MSN still having 21 villagers on the wood. A little bit ago, still having 21 on the wood. So this is still mass archer play. And it can work, but we need to get to the critical mass super, super fast. And it looks like we are getting to it.
Oh, look at that. Just in an instant with the military from the Jiangnan Tower. Suddenly we've got 3 horsemen, more palace guards, and some Shuganu that just came in. Ooh, villager getting sniped though. That's unfortunate. But a lot of units now on the field here for kiljardi.
Gathering the deer peg on the side of the map is also very nice for kiljardi. Just the spawn of it, it's relatively safe. One small wall, secured all of it. The problem is this wood line. Like, gathering from this wood line is very, very hard for him currently. Because of the MSN's archer mass, and it's only going to be getting harder and harder. MSN is adding more and more archers. Currently 36 archers already out on the field. We are slowly actually getting into the numbers that are going to be insta-killing palace guards. We need like 14 more, and then we are going to be able to do really, really well against it. Sniping 2 villagers over here is also very nice to see. MSN is taking a nice control of the game, and kiljardi needs to find some kind of answer.
Indeed, he does need to find an answer here. This is looking worse and worse at the moment for kiljardi. 40 archers, that's quite a big number. Now the Jugunu are still going to be able to do an excellent job up against them. But we're getting to the point where the archers are actually going to be able to start one-shotting, or rather, they're already able to one-shot the Juks now with relative ease. Like, you can even have like 2 separate groups of archers to one-shot the Jugunus. And just the scout every now and then just being out there, providing vision. Decent trade there between the archers and the Jugunu. Loses 2 Jugunus, kills 4 archers. And horsemen for MSN, trying to look for a raiding potential there. Looks like they might be able to find it as well. Not sure if kiljardi is going to be able to spot that in time. He does see the horseman here. And he's going to be putting up a quick aid. The other side.
MSN is abusing market a little bit, because he had 400 gold a few seconds ago, and right now we are back at 200. And no upgrades, or just now he queued up upgrade, but no upgrades were queued, so that's very interesting to see from him. At the same time, these horsemen are going to be trying to dive and do some type of damage, but are just going to be getting dealt on with a few Jukonu and 1 quick wall from the kiljardi. Lovely to see from him. MSN having 6 villager lead thanks to the IO production out of the Imperial Academy, and at the same time sniping 2 of the villagers from the kiljardi. Is just looking better and better from him. But there is still mass palace guard play from the kiljardi and mass Jukonu. Theoretically, it's going to be better army. Question that we are going to be seeing is if we can make enough of them in time.
Yeah. Shuganu moving forward now towards MSN's army. MSN still just committing. We're back to like 16 horsemen from MSN. This man loves his horsemen. And he's been hiding just a massive number that he's invested into for quite a while. So kiljardi probably doesn't know yet, or doesn't anticipate just how many horsemen MSN has invested into, and he's waiting. He's baited him out into the midfield. Now the engagement comes in.
Lovely to see. 17 horsemen are going to be collapsing on the front line from kiljardi. 14 men-at-arms are still alive, though, and all of this and all of these Jukonu are going to be taking care of the horsemen. Remember, this is 30 Jukonu. Sure, horsemen should be able to counter them, but 30 Jukonu is still 30 Jukonu. They are going to be able to one-shot it. It
doesn't work when you're stuck against the palace guards. Yeah. When you're stuck just dealing with the palace guards with the horsemen, and they're not actually targeting the Jugunu, it's going to be a little bit rough. So now kiljardi is suddenly in a very, very good spot here. Able to start pressuring MSN and maybe push him off the food resources on the map that he's been gathering from.
MSN doesn't have any type of the unit that can deal with the Palace Guard currently, and that's giant problems for him. We can see the engagement over here yet again, but just look at the Jukonu. They are obliterating everything. Sure, Palace Guards are falling, but that's not the main point. They are falling way less than enemy army over here. Jukonu with such a high DPS are gonna be able to slowly but surely deal with everything. MSN is finding himself on the back foot.
And the horseman actually just dying in a single volley here. Needs to be careful though with the trickle of horsemen that are going to be coming in, but now there's a lot of weak archers remaining. MSN, he's stepping up, but that is not a fight that he wants to step up to.
The moment there's no front line, archers are going to be melting from the MSN. When there's not even a single horseman over there, on each volley that kiljardi is gonna fire with the Jukonu, we can see 4 or 5 archers from MSN just dying. This is very hard for him. But at the moment, the reinforcements are not in yet, and MSN is sniping a little bit of the Jukonu here and there. So there, and he still has this very small villager lead. So there is a chance for him.
Definitely still a chance, but MSN, he is starting to trail further and further behind now in this game at the moment. He's been pushed off the deer, which now means that kiljardi kind of knows, okay, you went away from the left-hand side, you must be on the right-hand side now. And that is exactly where he's moving over to. Still a lot of Jugunu, more palace guards, some horsemen coming out now as well from kiljardi. He's feeling pretty confident now.
kiljardi probably wants to switch into some horsemen or maybe even night switch. We are seeing the research for the attack speed on them, so there is probably gonna be a few horsemen coming in. And if we are gonna add to all of these Jukonu and few palace guards just mass horsemen, there is no answer for MSN. MSN will not have answer for kiljardi's army composition over here. Currently, it is very rough for him. He's already 20 army count behind kiljardi, or nearly 20 army count behind, currently 14. So it's just getting rougher and rougher. And look at the engagement over here. In each volley that these Jukonu fire, they are gonna be killing like 2-3 archers at least.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of damage, still stepping up forward, trying to take down the archers here from MSN. And the volleys just doing a lot more damage. Even when the horseman just tries to connect to the Jugunu, it just takes a single volley for that horseman to get taken down. Still, Palace Guards are really taking front line.
Time. Perfect for buying up time. Palace Guards from kiljardi can buy at least 2 or 3 volleys from these archers that MSN has currently out on the field. In the meantime, the front line from MSN is just melting compared to these Jukonu. This is not even close. Look at the fight that's happening over here. And currently, villagers are gonna be targeted on the wood over here.
Yeah, no way.
This is completely terrible over here. Completely terrible for MSN.
I don't think there's a way back now for MSN. He's losing villagers in the woodline as well, and just like that, GG's gonna be coming on in. No longer does he have the means in order to produce more of these archers. And now kiljardi able to find himself 2-1 in this set now. So able to take a lead. Looked pretty dicey there at the beginning. MSN putting up a lot of pressure, but I feel like he just kind of missed the timing to switch out of his army, out of his current army composition there.
Or maybe when he was heavily pushing kiljardi into his own base, he could have tried to go for his own castle age and just kept up the pressure with the archers, faked that he's going for some type of the feudal age play, and then spam knights immediately. But staying in the feudal against the army that is simply set superior was very hard for him.
Yeah. Looking back at the outpost, such a crucial thing to be getting up there for kiljardi. As it would have been very difficult to keep control over the gold vein when MSN was pushing with a lot of archers early on. The wood gathering just being made very difficult there for him as well. So yeah, in the end, with the midfield and just having the better army composition with the palace guards, just you could tell like the horseman and archer composition just really didn't end up working out. Maybe it could have if MSN had the horsemen actually attack the archers, but they got hung up on the on the Palace Guards, which meant they weren't actually able to counter out the unit that they were meant to counter there.
And it was very rough. Exactly. These Palace Guards tanked so much and bought so much time for all of the Jukonu in the back, and Jukonu were able to deal with everything. There is a mass where Archer Horseman is better than Palace Guard Jukonu, but that's in a low numbers. As soon as we are going to be seeing Jukonu being in those 20, 30, or maybe even 40, Jukonu will obliterate everything.
It's also just about like the spread of units that you're playing with, right? Like when it comes to archers, horsemen up against the Jugunu, you want to have more horsemen than than archers in theory, because archers you only need like 15 to be able to one-shot a Jugunu or a spearman, something like that. And then you just want to be switching over into more and more horsemen to actually be able to win the fights, surround the Jugunu, and get them down.
Msn, in my opinion, had the timing to go up to the Castle Age when he was when he was heavily pushing Kiljardi inside of his own base. And Kiljardi could not really do anything. He was just trying to defend his wood line. But we did not really use it. We decided that we want to stay in the Feudal Age and try to finish the game. Did not really end up well. And we are going to be going into the next game. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see JD against Abbasid on Dry Arabia. And when there's Abbasid inside of the game, you are thinking that that's going to be Msn's pick, but not really. Kiljardi is going to be playing Abba over here, and Msn is going to be on the JD.
Yeah, Abbasid here versus JD. I like this one for Abbasid in theory. I mainly really like Abbasid because they deal quite well in with like most knight civilizations. Having the failings, the bonus of range on your spearmen, just makes them super strong up against any like type of cavalry army composition. And also just being able to get like the boot camp upgrade as well, getting even more HP up on your infantry. Really good army composition there. One single camel archer, you debuff the cavalry even more. Just the reason why I think Abbasid, like on paper at least, are very strong civilization against both the both French and JD. The main thing that they do struggle with is early aggression, though. So that's like kind of the counter. If Abbasid is able to like survive the first 10 minutes untouched against JD and French, or without taking a lot of damage, they should be able to pull ahead.
Abbasid also very heavily benefits from plus 15% on all of their villagers in the early game. Abbasid is basically getting all of the feudal age upgrades kinda for free when they get right into the feudal, and they can make feudal age upgrades on top of it. That's gonna mean that their economy is just simply set superior. On top of it, spending less on villagers is gonna allow them to make such a giant feudal age army if they really want to. Like Abba double TC is formidable. Abba 1 TC feudal age all in means that your army is not highest quality, but you have so much of it that you can just throw it at your opponent and beat him with your Louis Vuitton wallet.
Yeah, I mean, JD, she's gonna have to play this one very aggressively. She's gonna have to like try and find damage up against the Abbasid. And it's going to be interesting to see what exactly Kiljardi is going for. I think it's going to have to be a military wing when you're up against JD, but we'll have to wait and see what exactly he's going to be opting for, as we're going to be jumping into our game number 4. And look at that, Msn actually starting us off here with some wood gathering. So maybe we'll see a Dark Age barracks? Or what is that going to be for?
Very interesting. At the same time, Kiljardi going on berries, pretty standard for the Abbasid over here. Having berries in the back, something that's lovely for him to see. Gold on the side, wood line in the front, very easily wallable with another wood line that's right across the map. So that's gonna be a very nice wall for him if he decides to go for it in the feudal age. And it looks like that the Msn is going for an early deer pack. And that's why we were mining that wood. Pretty nice to see.
Yeah, so it's gonna be moving out to the deer immediately. It's getting gold in as well already.
Pretty standard from both of the players. MSN opened on the deer pack. He's thinking that Abba will not be able to put that much early pressure on him compared to the other civilizations. If he would be playing against French, he would probably not do that. But against Abbasid, they can put early pressure only if they are going for the military wing. And even if they are doing so, they are getting infantry, not cavalry. And that's gonna mean that it's gonna take a while for them to get there, while you are gonna be getting JD level 2, and JD level 2 is pretty good at dealing with a military wing from the ABBA, especially the ranged version. But I don't really think that we are gonna see a ranged version of the JD against the ABBA set. In my opinion, we should be see the melee version just for the heavy AoE damage against all of the spears that ABBA can make.
Yeah, I think both options should be working here. And look at this, we're actually getting an economic wing from kiljardi. So it looks like he's going to be going the greedy route and opting for multiple TCs here early on with the Abbasid. I think that's greedy and potentially very dangerous up against JD. MSN's JD as well.
MSN's JD is gonna mean feudal age all-in. We already know that. There is no dispute in that. We already know that most likely MSN will go for some type of a feudal age play. While kiljardi going up with the ecoing, but not going on stones. So this is ecoing for what? For cheaper farm transition? Or I do not fully understand it. I would love to see military wing way more over here than
military
than
wing makes sense for defensive reasons. Then again, like, you could still go military wing for Castle Age, but that of course requires you to actually be able to get to Castle Age. We don't have any villagers moving out to stone yet. Yes, this is kind of strange, to say the least.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe we are going ecoing just for cheaper farms because we don't want to go out on the map, but if we are
that doesn't
doing
feel worth
that,
it, at least not immediately.
Yeah.
You should at least go for a second TC as well then. Alright, like, you don't have to play too greedy and go for third TC, but a second TC, I think, makes more sense.
Well, we will see what kiljardi will cook up with it. On the other hand, MSN going for a classic School of Cavalry. We did not see Chamber of Commerce, even though it got buffed, but it's still a little bit of a troll in the pro play. And exactly, we will see cheaper villagers, cheaper town centers, and cheaper farms, but we don't see any town centers, and we see stables being played. I'm very surprised about the ecoing if you are not going for a second PC.
Yeah, not just ecoing, but the stables as well. Would make sense to now follow up with the barracks as well for, like, spearmen, horsemen. It's weird that he's opening up with the horsemen rather than the barracks. Because, again, in this matchup, like, you want to have the spearmen out first to defend and then go for horsemen once the archers come in. Maybe kiljardi wants to potentially try and go for an immediate counter raid onto the deer from MSN. That could be an option. But yeah, MSN, he's looking for the move out to the stone, and he's not seeing it. He knows that kiljardi went for the eco wing, so he definitely anticipated the second TC, but yeah, he's not gonna be seeing it here. Not anytime soon.
No second TC being played with the ecoing is definitely something that's gonna be bumming MSN in his head. He's gonna be thinking, what is he going to do over here? Meanwhile, kiljardi going for some spearmen already, so he will be able to defend against knights and some horsemen for the early aggression, most likely. JD gonna be aged up, and it's a melee JD. Melee JD is gonna be probably a little bit better if there are already horsemen out on the field. Otherwise, they would be able to catch her off guard. We still don't have 10 buildings out for kiljardi, so no bonus for all of the villagers. But that should be dealt with pretty quickly, in my opinion. He should be building something as quickly as he sees. We have only 9 of them. Wheelbarrow is being researched inside of the mill for the faster villagers. Faster villagers are very nice to have against French. You can pull away faster from the resources. That way they are not getting sniped with the knights, or they have more survivability. But still, this is no second TC.
No second TC, not anytime soon. Kiljardi just massing up horsemen and spearmen for the time being. We see JD taking care of one of the boars on the map for some additional experience here early on. Knight is moving out, but Kiljardi is there with some spearmen, does react in time.
MSN already
able to
going
do
for
some damage
archers
there.
as well.
Yeah.
MSN already going for archers as well, so this is bread and butter composition for the JD. Knights, archers, and then a JD in the mix just to get that additional AoE or heal and additional consecrate on the town center or school of cavalry here and there. Kiljardi going for only spearman horseman, currently not adding any type of the archer. Later in the game, when we are gonna get into the bigger numbers, we would love to see camel archer just for the debuff on all of the knights.
Yeah.
Currently it is too expensive. It's gonna be way better to just make a little bit more horsemen and a little bit more spearmen. But definitely we would love to see it. My question is, who has better feudal age? Is it gonna be Kiljardi with playing or just mass units, or is it gonna be MSN with the JD knights and some archers here and there?
When it comes to the units, I still kind of prefer Abbasid with the phalanx on the spears. Like, phalanx, really, you cannot underestimate just how great it is. Or rather, overestimate just how great it is in these engagements. And it looks like you were onto something. Kiljardi already starting to go for the first couple of early farms there. So maybe he really did just go Eco-Wing just for the earlier farm transition, which is kind of wild, but Kiljardi is a wild person.
Definitely.
Oh, able to find JD here. That's pretty big.
This is very lovely to see. JD is gonna be going down because the knights are very far away. They're on the other side of the map. Sure, JD will be putting up the fight, but it's not gonna be enough, and we need to revive her for 250 gold. This is gonna be very costly.
Yeah, MSN fumbling there a little bit, losing JD early here to the couple of horsemen. Horsemen are also just going to be able to run away now from the knights. We are seeing some spearmen now as well coming in from MSN. Just going for the triple army composition. Kiljardi, though, also adding in the first camel archer now as well.
And MSN doesn't really want to take any fight without the JD because he's going to be suffocating her from experience, right? So at the moment, he's going to be chilling a little bit, doesn't really want to engage. He wants to take up as much map control as it is possible, but Kiljardi already having one camel archer out means that all of these knights are going to be getting debuffed in a fight if the camel archer will not be getting sniped by the archers.
Knights still running around here for MSN, trying to find some value, but Kiljardi, he's got his army there as well. Isn't gonna let MSN get any easy fights in, and the horsemen able to find some villagers here.
Lovely to see.
Able
One
to take
villager
down
went
one.
down immediately. One villager went down immediately. Lovely. At the same time, Kiljardi is making a very good unit composition currently against what MSN has. MSN is adding spearmen, so that's also interesting to see. We see spearmen from the JD against mass horsemen. They are going to do very well against what Kiljardi has. He doesn't have a super hard counter. There is the two camel archers, and he's starting to add his own archers. But we are diving the woodline over here. One villager went down immediately. Second one is at the same time, and the third one is gonna be getting spared for the time being. We are running back with the army from Kiljardi, and as he took one villager from MSN, MSN is responding with the raid on the woodline and taking two from him.
Yeah. Now behind
Chivalry.
this, Kiljardi still just, chivalry coming on up. I like how Emerson still just has his army here, and Kiljardi also just like waiting. He's waiting for MSN to slip up, send the military units away. Because he knows the second he goes away, like those horsemen are just gonna dive onto those villagers. And Kiljardi, he's looking for it. You can tell, like very soon he's gonna be going for it again. Villagers on the berries.
As soon as you
Jumping
said that,
inside.
we see a raid on that deer peg over there in the MSN's back. Look at that beautiful, beautiful raid. Another 2 villagers went down from MSN. Kiljardi catching the villager kills like a Pokemons over here. At the same time, MSN is trying to do something in the front. We are bringing JD with more knights and with some spears. But there is a tower on the berries that we saw. Kiljardi yet again gonna be diving the gold over here, and maybe 1 or 2 villagers are gonna be dying. Not really. We are focusing down on spearman and gonna be killing him. But at the moment, Kiljardi in a relatively good spot. Very nice raiding from him.
Yeah. Starts to now add in some archers as well on his side, but military value-wise, it looks like MSN is in the lead, and he's getting ready to dive onto the food economy there from Kiljardi onto the berries and potentially the gold afterwards as well. Kiljardi, he's going to need his horsemen here at the front now.
MSN grouped up. We are diving. We are going to be going to the berry patch over here. This tower will be dying nearly immediately. That's a lot of knights and a lot of spears. So this should be 5 villagers dead. If MSN will play it correctly, only 1 villager kill, okay, and we are taking the engagement. JD is coming forward, putting one giant AoE for a tag over here, but that's a lot of spears out on the field and a lot of camel archers. These camel archers are going to be debuffing all of the knights by minus 20% damage, and that's a giant deal. JD is going to be slowly but actually going down. She's on 1 HP, it looks like, but it's not getting targeted by the Kiljardi. Kiljardi, in my opinion, misplaying it a little bit and not killing the JD. JD is getting the free experience, but horsemen are going to be coming from the back. They don't have that much of the HP. JD level 3. JD level 3 is going to be in, but she's so low HP. JD went down right when she aged up, and this is going to be not looking preferably. But we went for the special horseman or special horseman champion from the JD, and all of the army from the Kiljardi is slowly but surely going to be getting cleaned.
Yeah, Kiljardi losing his entire military mass here, not looking good for him at all. He has to make even more farms now. JD has just been bought back as well. 500 gold for it, but having level 3 JD does kind of make it worthwhile. And now she's back with full HP as well. You can just kind of tell, like, MSN with the healing, with the chivalry as well at the moment, he's just going to wait a little bit, wait for his knights to recover, and then he's going to be just running into Kiljardi's base again.
JD got revived, so we are gonna be seeing her with our army in a minute. At the same time, a lot of low HP knights. They are gonna be getting healed by the chivalry, so that's very nice to see. And when we group this up, I think that Kiljardi is in a big trouble over here. MSN played it very nicely. He knew when he had the timing. He came in, killed the tower, and killed all of the army basically. Right now, sitting on double the military plus JD. That's such a big advantage for him.
JD with that level 3. Kiljardi pumping out some archers now behind this. Still lacking spearmen though for the time being. Production buildings now getting found out here by the archers from MSN. Ooh, some villagers here on the backline as well. They've been kept alive for a while, but they're gonna get found out now. And this time they'll get taken down. Just a couple of knights gonna be able to do the trick there.
Another 4 villager kills. Very nice to see for MSN. He doesn't even need to evolve the army in the engagements, just because of the lack of army that Kiljardi has at the moment. JD full HP. There aren't any spears. There isn't anything that can deal with her. She can just dive the town center and kill everything. This is not looking good for the Kiljardi at the moment. 15 villagers inside of TC means that these archers will be dying, but it's just not gonna be enough. MSN is taking the game, and we will have full best of 5.
Full best of 5 indeed. Yeah, this is gonna be going all the way to a game number 5 here between Kiljardi and MSN. They're going the distance in order to find out who's going to be qualifying here today. Obviously, both want to be able to qualify for the main event, but only 4 people are going to be able to do so today.
MSN playing very nicely. He recognized the timing, he acted on it, he dived exactly when he needed to, and basically took a game away from kiljardi. Maybe if we would see military wing and all of our spearmen would have that little bit of additional HP, maybe the fight would go on a tiny bit differently. But no, I really do not understand the play for the echoing. Maybe we were thinking about a second TC, but later recognized that against MSN is gonna be a little bit too greedy because he is a all-in player. We raided very, very nicely. kiljardi showed us some very nice raids with the horseman coming on the gold, coming on the deer pack, and knew exactly when he needs to come in to deal a lot of damage. But in the end, JD is just a tiny bit better feudal age civilization.
Yeah, it looks like it. Next up, it's gonna be Japanese versus Sengoku. So once again, we get a little bit of a mirror here with the variant civilizations facing off against each other. Sengoku versus Japan means we'll get mounted samurai from both sides here potentially as the game goes on. It's gonna be on Boardland. So Boardland for Sengoku does feel very, very nice there with the Yattais being able to just run out over to many different spots on the map for that food gathering.
I just want to point out, in the fight that we just saw the replay on, if that JD would have been sniped a little bit earlier, which definitely could have happened because we had camel archers, they have a very big base damage, it would got way, way differently. Like that fight would have been lost for MSN. But for letting
maybe
the JD,
not lost, but
JD
would have
live,
been more of an even trade.
Sure. But it would have been way, way worse than we just saw. It wouldn't be game-ending fight. But not targeting JD did not work out very well for kiljardi.
Yeah. Next up, moving over to Boardland. So a very open map once again. We've seen it a couple of times today, but most importantly is that the resources, the deer on the map, the boar on the map, they're all very far spread apart. So it makes it a lot easier to hide your Yattais out there. Makes it a lot more difficult for your opponent to chase after your Yattais. And like that, you're gonna be able to just get a lot of economy spread out around the map, and it's difficult for the spearmen, which typically, like in Japan, you will probably see open up with some spearmen to try and either take down the Yattai or pressure gold potentially. Just a little bit more difficult for the spearmen to catch up to them.
It's very hard to justify, in my opinion, the Dark Age play for the Japan against Sengoku. Especially because of those Yattai, you cannot really catch them or kill them. You can try to do some damage on the gold, but your opponent has market in the Dark Age, so he can just sell a bit of a wood and can age up. For those reasons, I don't really like playing Dark Age into the Sengoku because I don't really see a lot of value you can do in the Dark Age. But maybe I'm wrong, and kiljardi will show us some very nice tower rush and just denying MSN's gold till the rest of the game. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, indeed. There are some interesting things, of course, like with the ability with the Matsuri to like be an early market as well. Like you don't necessarily need to put the Matsuri right next to a gold vein. Something that I've seen a lot of players do is they just go for mass gathering on wood, and then they just sell wood and age up that way. So you can put up the Matsuri right next to a wood line as well, get the wood in for the Yattai, sell wood afterwards, and age up without actually needing to gather gold, should your opponent try and like interrupt your gold operations with spearmen early on in the game.
We will see. What MSN will do with Sengoku. But for the last 4 games that we saw from him, he showed us a feudal age all-in, so I'm expecting the same to be the 5th one. Sengoku being one of the civilization that can do really well in the feudal age all-in, thanks to the Yari cavalry also having Yumi and being able to get +1 on them relatively quickly because they don't play for bannermans but for daimios. will be interesting to see what MSN is gonna opt to. There is a small chance for fast castle, but I don't think so. Knowing him and seeing past 4 games, this is gonna be a feudal age play, and the question is just gonna be if it's gonna be enough.
Yeah. All right, is it gonna be enough? That's the question here. When it comes to the longer term of the game, I'm thinking like Mounted Samurai from the Sengoku with the bonus attack speed just a little bit stronger. So I have to wait and see exactly how this one's gonna be played out. As we do have kiljardi now in the color orange playing as the Japanese, up against MSN in the color blue playing as the Sengoku Daimyo. And looks like indeed we do have the Matsuri next to the woodline here for MSN. But actually, is that feels like it's outside of the range from the TC, isn't it? If we take a look at the TC range
looks
there,
like
it is.
Get torched down.
Oh, that is
down.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that kiljardi should be aiming for. Torching that one down should go all the way to 5 spearmen there just to try and torch it down.
We will see what kiljardi will do. Maybe MSN will be in time with the feudal age, but it's gonna be very, very, very tight. Like he's already delayed so much just by going for the yatai. We'll see for how many he will go. Usually, we see pro players going for all 3 of them in the Dark Age. Remember, 1 yatai is basically 1.5 villager, if placed correctly. So getting it out as early as it is possible is the best thing you can do. With other civilizations that also have some type of a Dark Age bonus like this, let's say Malians, you are able to get like 2 villagers or 3 villagers worth of gold income. With yatai, you are same on it, maybe a little bit more. So, but they cost a tiny bit more as well. kiljardi can definitely try to kill the Matsuri over here. It's out of the range of the TC. If he realizes it, MSN made a small mistake, which can be detrimental to him.
Yeah. Could be. Up to 3 spearmen, 4 spearmen coming in as well. And yeah, kiljardi, he realizes, okay, he's got a very, very nice attacking point here. MSN is going for his own barracks now. Counter barracks coming in. For the time being, MSN is going to be able to just repair the Matsuri. Oh, some of the workers in the woodline actually not in range of the TC.
This is, and if the one worker will be dying, this is terrible. Okay, MSN saw it in a time, so it's fine. We are pulling that.
Actually gets a shot off against the spears.
Interesting. First spearman from the MSN is coming out and gonna be trying to deal some damage to the kiljardi spearman. This is just gonna be feud with the Dark Age from both of our players. So this is gonna be mass spearman from MSN against probably mass spearman from kiljardi. Or does kiljardi wants to just stop the production of the spears at all and go straight up to the feudal at this point?
He just gathered up a lot of wood, which makes me believe that he might be actually going for an outpost rush next up. I think I just saw a villager there
a tower
at the front line. Yeah, there is a villager there now. It looks like he decided against it after he saw just how heavily MSN's also investing into the spears now.
Could have tried to sneak it up behind the wood line when MSN does not have the vision. He could have tried to sneak it up. I don't think that MSN would saw it if he would be distracted by the spearman that kiljardi has. But deciding to not do it and just go up to the feudal over here is, in my opinion, just giving breathing room to the MSN at this time. You already have 1 yatai out on the field. Gonna be adding the second one very shortly. Still has 6 villagers on wood and going on gold at the moment. I don't like the decision on going gold. I would love him to go very heavily on wood and then just sell it. You already know there are spearmen out on the field.
He's got 6 villagers in gold, so he's not selling any wood. He's just... Wait, never mind. He switched them over again? Nope. Never mind. Just built the fort. So it's going for the full gathering there on the gold. kiljardi just about has enough gold as well.
And currently, kiljardi having 1 more spearman will mean that MSN needs to back home. kiljardi will start the age up a little bit quicker than MSN, already having the resources for it, and Kura storehouse will be played. On the other hand, MSN still waiting. Second yatai is already out on the field. third one should be in the queue any moment, already having resources for it. And spearman numbers are there for Kiljardi, so Msn is forced to make a tower on his goal. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, something that he might have wanted to do long term anyways, but yeah, it's right now it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there
Surviving.
for him. Ooh,
It's alive. It's 1 HP, but it's alive. It's fine. It's fine.
He's
Did not
living.
lose a villager. Exactly.
Living his best life.
He's living his days very happily, and he's gonna be living the rest of them under a town center most likely. Kiljardi is going to yet again torch down the Matsuri. Msn behind on the spear count, currently 8 spears against 5 from Msn. Matsuri will be dying if it's not gonna be getting repaired over here, and I think that Msn will repair it, try to save it, but spearman numbers are just not there yet. Toka Township gonna be slowly being built for the MSN. Very, very interesting. And Kiljardi currently... They are throwing torches across the wall. What is this?
Yeah.
Hey!
MSN, he's not really helping himself there, right? Like, it's gonna make it a lot more difficult for his spearmen to actually, like, try and poke at Kiljardi's spearmen here. If they're just able to shoot over the wall. Yeah.
This is not what he expected when he built it. Feudal Age upgrade for the skills already queued up for Kiljardi. MSN's Feudal Age is gonna be near completion very, very, very soon. But it looks like he's gonna be pushed away from this wood, and it looks like this Matsuri will be dying slowly but surely. 8 spearmen out on the field. They are forward. They are Feudal Age upgraded. MSN cannot afford to take fight right now.
Sorry. Still getting counter repaired though, but that's a lot of wood investment here. And MSN, at the moment, like, he's got the ability to just pop out the Shinobi right now and take an engagement. He's waiting for the Hardened upgrade, I'm assuming. Hardened upgrade has come in. Shinobi should be coming in now as well.
That's a lot of low HP spears for Kiljardi over here. 2 spears are nearly dead. Shinobi are in. That's gonna be giant debuff on the movement speed. So MSN should be doing well over here and should be pushing him away. That's lovely to see. Securing his Matsuri, not letting it die. Kiljardi behind all of this. We are seeing some Feudal Age play. Already 2 Yumi are out on the field, 3 more in the queue, and this is gonna be Yumi against Yumi. But MSN's adding some Samurai as well. It's interesting. I did not expect Samurai in the Feudal Age.
Yeah, Samurai are a little bit of an early pull there, for sure. Actually, this is something that I've mentioned at some point, not today, but during another stream. With the recent buff there, with the Yumi archers, like, you could just go for mass-mounted Samurai. Not mass-mounted Samurai, but like mass normal Samurai at the moment, and go for the Daimyo for the Samurai. They've buffed the arrow shot damage from the Samurai significantly, which you can get through an upgrade. It's actually not bad at all at the moment if you just go for mass Samurai.
It's interesting, definitely interesting. But currently, MSN is being completely pushed away from his wood gathering. Having this Matsuri outside of the range of the TC is a complete disaster for him. This is the place that Kiljardi was trying to pressure very, very heavily in the Dark Age, and it definitely paid out. On the other hand, MSN only 2 Yata is still out of the 4 that he can have. I would love to see a little bit more of them coming as quickly as this possible. The first upgrade on TC is going to be coming for the Kiljardi, and we will probably see Yumi Bannerman out on the field. When we see it, the fights are going to be definitely going the Kiljardi's way.
MSN, he's got a lot of military, a lot of infantry right now out on the field. Looks like we're also getting, is that a Daimyo or a Yari cavalry? They got very similar icons. No, it's a Daimyo. So it's getting a Daimyo in as well, alongside all of the military units that he's got. He does have a trader inside of Matsuri, but doesn't have the workers anywhere nearby it, so they're not really getting buffed up at the moment.
Kiljardi also going for +1 armor. +1 armor.
Oh, it looks like he's...
damage.
He's looking for a castle age up, double outpost now on the gold.
Double outpost, the double blacksmith upgrades. 18 on food, 7 on gold. Looks like a castle age. Also researching arrow slits. Exactly as Krakity said. This looks like a fast or semi-fast castle at this point. In the meantime, Msn is still going for mass samurai, which is interesting. If he gets the critical mass of like 10 of them, maybe 15, and some Yumi behind all of it, can maybe try to dive this outpost. But we saw earlier today Lash going for mass man-at-arms in the feudal age at the same time, and diving double outpost and completely losing a game on it, or completely losing feudal age on it. So it can be a mistake from Msn. Maybe some rams would be needed. And if you are talking about rams, Kiljardi is already gonna be aged up. So currently Msn is standing in a very difficult spot.
Looks like at the moment Kiljardi is still respecting the aggression from Msn, so he is reinvesting. There's more samurai coming in for Kiljardi now as well. But it's just gonna be 2 samurai up against 10 already for Msn. Is this the... Can we check which daimyo this was? It's the... Oh, never mind. It's the archer daimyo ones. Okay, so the Yumi archers are going to be able to get the upgrade for the additional +1 damage there, which should also be coming in soon at some point. I don't have it yet.
And we don't even have +1 normal damage. So this is not something that we'll have to see. Second villager going down on this berry patch. Kiljardi raiding with one lonely knight that he has, and the one lonely knight that he can make in the feudal age. Floating gate is gonna be being built at home. Msn cannot really dive him, and cannot really try to stop him. He would be just throwing away all of his military lead. Kiljardi is sitting in a very good spot.
Yes, for sure, but Msn... He's getting ready for a dive. Floating gate is about to finish on up, though. I'm not sure if Msn is going to be expecting this at the moment. He does see the military count there for Kiljardi. So I don't think he's expecting the age up, but once it comes in, like, so his ground samurai, like his infantry samurai, are just going to get wiped by the mounted samurai once they come in. There's already enough gold for 4 mounted samurai as soon as the age up finishes.
Msn definitely in a tough spot, and as we saw from the last 4 games that he played, and as we know him, most likely he will see opponent age up to the castle age and then just send it. But it doesn't look like a correct play. At the same time, and we are sending it. Kiljardi is making a veterancy upgrade for the Yumi. It's gonna be coming in, and when that's gonna happen, we will not be able to do anything. Our samurai are gonna get obliterated. We are diving double outpost. We don't have enough army yet to defend it properly, but it doesn't really matter. We just don't want our villagers to die, so so send them home under the TC, and we do not care. 3 mounted samurai in the queue, and when they get over here, there's no spears. At the same time, we do not have enough damage on the Yumi. +1 just finished for the Msn before he was taking the fight, and the veterancy upgrade is 10 seconds away from the Kiljardi. Not looking good. First mounted samurai is going to be coming in and dealing massive amounts of damage to all of the samurai. Second mounted samurai is in. Currently, Msn is diving, trying to do his best, but his army is slowly but surely just dying and dying and dying. Castle age upgrades are in for the Kiljardi, or the main castle age upgrade, and Msn's numbers of samurai are just falling.
Yeah, Msn, actually, is he doing it here? He's completely put Kiljardi off of gold at the moment. Now the Yumi archers are vetted up, but Kiljardi isn't making any more Yumis.
It's not enough. He's diving PC in the second tower. He's holding.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
He's holding.
It's not enough. Kiljardi holded. Msn's feudal play did not work. He sended it, and it did not work, unfortunately. Currently, Kiljardi gonna be just making more and more mounted samurai, and they are gonna be able to deal with everything. Mounted samurai will completely obliterate Yumi and do very, very, very well into Msn samurai. Msn needs to add some type of a spearman or go for his own castle age, but if he's gonna stick with the composition, it's not gonna end well.
Mounted Samurai still getting messed up now by Kiljardi. I would have really preferred to see a couple more Yumi Archers being messed up, especially since he did get the veterans in on them. Looks like MSN is going to be remaining in the feudal age for the foreseeable future. Something else that we didn't see there during that last engagement was Shinobi being used at all. Granted, Shinobi is something that I feel like many players, like they go for it, but then they just forget to use them at all during the game. Oh, villagers getting found out on the deer here, but men-at-arms are going to be nearby. That's at least one villager that ends up going down, though.
MSN is still making more army, currently not having a big bank. If we are gonna stay in this position, it's not looking well for him. Kiljardi will have 8 mounted samurai out on the field, and this is a huge raid behind of the Kiljardi's base. Very nice job from MSN, killing at least 5 or 6 villagers over here. Lovely to see. 2 more villager kills 2 more villager kills are gonna be going to his corner. And even though we sacrificed all of the Yumi for this, it was very well worth it in my opinion. Yumi are not gonna do anything in these fights, or they are gonna be near useless. This way they are at least gonna be doing some type of the eco damage. But this is gonna be... We sneaked up the villagers on the deer pack over here. Lovely to see for MSN.
Yeah, villagers now at the top side also getting found out by Mounted Samurai, so that's going to be at least 2 more villagers that are going to be going down here. The weak ones will be going down for sure. MSN, he is trying to also macro towards Castle Age behind all of this on his own side. It's just that right now he doesn't have a lot of military going for himself. More raids coming in on the gold as well, just when he needed the gold there. And more villagers going down yet again. Sure, he just killed a lot of villagers over on the side of Kiljardi's base. But losing a lot now due to the Mounted Samurai raids. And we're already up to 11 Mounted Samurai with 3 more in the queue. Truly, the Samurai that MSN had as infantry units just aren't really getting the job done here as all. And now the outpost is going to be getting dove on by all of these Mounted Samurai as well as the veteran Yumi Archer.
This is 5 more villager kills that are going to be going for Kiljardi most likely. Like, sure, we have a little bit of the samurai over here, but they are gonna get obliterated. This is not looking good for MSN. All of his army is just straight up dying at this point. We are still staying in the game, even though we are 12 villagers behind. Not looking good for him. This is completely terrible. MSN put up a very nice fight, but dived Kiljardi's base a little bit too late. And didn't saw the timing for it. And Kiljardi is gonna be taking the win and qualifying for the Elite Classic.
Yeah, most importantly, being able to qualify for the main event. So congratulations over to Kiljardi, able to win his series 3-2. Close games up against MSN. Definitely a great showing between the two. So congratulations, definitely going out there to him.
MSN showed us very, very nice games. If maybe if the Matsuri play was a little bit different over here in the Dark Age, we could have saw it differently. But yeah, this Matsuri over here and the wall at the same time was not nice to see.
Yeah. So GG's coming on in. Now, let's take a quick look at the brackets that we have still going on, as there's still some sets going on behind this. So just a second. We'll be taking a look at that shortly. As we do know, Kiljardi was able to qualify now 3-2 as one of our players, but there's still a couple more spots remaining. So we're quickly checking on up and see who else has been able to qualify so far today. And there we go. So far today, qualified, we've got Louis MT, actually a 3-2. So GIF Music putting up a great fight up against Louis there. That must have been a close one as well. Numidan being able to win against Corvinus 3-1. And right now, Demu versus Valdemar, that's currently ongoing with Demu leading 2-0 there at the moment.